Isn't it astonishing that out of the absolute nothingness of your past, out of all the infinite possibilities that could have been, here you are, alive, aware, listening. For as long as I can remember, even back into the earliest fog of childhood, I've been completely captivated by the idea of death. Most people quickly brush it aside. They say, you can't imagine it, or there's no point thinking about it, and then they move on. But I suppose I've never been satisfied with answers like that. Not because I'm searching for some comforting alternative, not heaven, not reincarnation, not a second act, but because the very idea of not existing fascinates me to the core. I've often wondered, what would it actually be like to fall asleep and never wake up? People describe it as eternal darkness or being trapped in the earth, but of course it couldn't be like that at all. Darkness is only meaningful because we know light. Light defines darkness. Darkness defines light. One exists because of the contrast with the other. I have a friend, a brilliant, thoughtful woman who was born completely blind. She has never seen even a flicker of illumination. To her, the word darkness means nothing, just as the word light means nothing. So when you sleep, you are not aware of darkness. You are not aware of anything at all. If you slipped into a sleep that lasted forever, it wouldn't feel like being buried alive or drifting through endless black. It would feel like nothing. Not nothing as in emptiness, not nothing as in a void, but the kind of nothing in which you and everything you've ever known were never there in the first place. A state where nothing is missing because nothing was ever present. In that condition, there could be no regret, because there is no one to feel regret. No sadness, because there is no one to experience loss. You couldn't even call it tragic, because tragedy requires someone to witness it. It would be pure nothingness, no future, no past, no present, a complete absence of experience. And you might assume that this is where the conversation ends, that after confronting such a blank horizon, a sensible person would simply change the subject. But I never do, because this thought leads me to something even more intriguing. If non-existence is so ungraspable, so impossible to imagine, then what does that say about existence? The closest I've ever come, in my own direct experience, to understanding nothing is noticing the strange fact that my eyes cannot see my own head. There is a world out there in front of me, shapes, colors, people, movement, all appearing as if projected toward my gaze. But behind the gaze, behind the eyes, there is no black patch, no gray haze, not even a blur. There is simply nothing, a blank transparency, a silent background with no form, no color, no edge. And yet, out of that nothing, everything arises. The world pours into awareness. But the place from which awareness looks remains invisible, formless, empty. This emptiness behind the eyes, this nothing that you cannot perceive, is the closest hint of the nothingness we fear. Not a void to be frightened of, but a spaciousness that allows all things to appear, a nothing that contains everything. Imagine your field of vision as an oval window floating in a sea of brightness. Right in the center of this luminous panorama, there is no black spot, no hole, no shadow marking where your head ought to be. If you trace the edge of your visual field with your fingers, you'll notice something curious. Your hands simply disappear at a soft, undefined boundary. But beyond that boundary and through sight alone, there is absolutely nothing. Not a color, not a shape, no texture, just emptiness. And yet, out of that emptiness, you see, that in itself is astonishing. This blankness behind the eyes is the first clue. The second clue lies in the vast emptiness behind memory. Try to remember back, deeper. earlier, into childhood, into infancy. At some point you reach a wall, a complete void, no story, no images, no sense of you at all. But just as you can touch the back of your head with your fingers to confirm that something is physically there, you know through other forms of evidence that before your birth something was certainly happening. Your mother existed, your father existed, their parents before them and theirs, and so on. Behind them stretched the whole lineage of life on Earth. Behind that, the solar system forming from dust. Behind that, the galaxy. Behind that, countless galaxies, until even science reaches its own cosmic blank. So here is the parallel. If the nothingness after death resembles the nothingness before birth, and yet out of that prior nothingness you appeared once, why should it be impossible for you to appear again? What has happened once can happen again. It is no more miraculous the second time than the first. We all know with absolute certainty that after we die, others will be born. Not just one person, but millions. Life does not stop because one individual flame goes out. What frightens us, strangely, is not death, but the idea of eternal non-existence, as if that were something dreadful. But consider this. Before you were born, you experienced the same eternal non-existence, and it didn't bother you in the slightest. Yet here you are. So if it happened once, it can happen again and again and again. But to understand this properly, we need a new way of speaking, a new verb. Let's call it to I. Not the pronoun I, but a verb, an action. The universe eyes. It eyes through you. It becomes aware of itself through your eyes, your thoughts, your perspective. Let's shift the spelling from I to I, because to I something is to perceive it, to become conscious of it. In this sense, the universe is forever eyeing itself. Every time a human being is born, the universe grows another pair of eyes, another point of view, another center of awareness, and every single eye feels like the center of reality. You feel like you are the center just as strongly as I feel like I am the center. This is not a mistake. This is the design. We all arise from the same background of nothingness. We don't remember doing it before, but it has happened countless times, not only throughout time, but all across space. Everyone you see is the universe eyeing through another window. When I say the universe is eyeing, the question becomes, who is the one looking? And the answer, once seen, is both obvious and utter. When we talk about the universe eyeing through you, what do we actually mean by this word eye? There are two very different meanings. The first is the familiar one, your ego, the personality you carry around. But this is not the real I. Your personality is nothing more than your idea of yourself, a collage of opinions, memories, fears, hopes, and the impressions other people have pressed onto you over the years. It's a mask stitched together out of reflections. This mental image of who you think you are is no more you than a photograph is the person it captures, or a cartoon is the living being it caricatures. Your self-image says absolutely nothing about how you are actually alive. It contains no knowledge of how your brain forms thoughts, how your nerves fire, how your blood circulates, how your bones reshape themselves, how your glands release chemicals that change your entire emotional world. Your ego knows none of this, and yet you are doing all of it. Your heart beats without asking permission. Your lungs breathe without conscious effort. Your body repairs itself in the dark without your guidance. If you say, I breathe, I walk, I think, I am conscious, you must also admit that you have no idea how you manage to do any of these things, no more than you know how you grow your own hair. All this happens through you, not by your ego. So the I you believe yourself to be, the image, the story, the little psychological center, cannot possibly be the true one. The real center of awareness must lie deeper. How deep? Deeper than the personality, deeper than the mind, deeper even than the body. Yes, the body performs all these miraculous operations, but the body itself is not isolated. It is an expression of the universe, a ripple in a vast ocean of energy. Just as a tree inevitably produces apples, the cosmos inevitably produces consciousness. Just as the nature of a star is to shine, the nature of the universe is to eye, to be aware, to peer through countless viewpoints at itself. The true center of this eyeing is not the personality called you. The name Alan Watts or John or Maria is simply a convenient label for a particular expression of life. The real root, the true I, is the universe itself, the ancient, ongoing, ever-renewing cosmos that has been here for billions of years and will likely continue for billions more. So it becomes entirely reasonable to assume that when the physical organism dissolves and the memory system collapses, when the particular mask you wear falls away, the underlying awareness does not vanish with it. Instead, it returns to the same condition it was in before your birth. Pure potential, pure possibility, pure openness. And from that openness, life will arise again. Not as the same person, not with the same memories, but as another window through which the universe will look. For each time the cosmos eyes, a new being is born, a human infant, a frog, a rabbit, a fruit fly, a bacterium, a seedling. The question then becomes, if the universe will continue producing countless beings, which one will you be next? And here lies the shimmering secret. You will be whichever one the universe opens its eyes through, because the deeper I, the one behind the mask, behind the ego, behind the body, was never separate from life in the first place. But the real mystery is not which creature you will become next. The deeper question is far more astonishing. Why do you imagine there is a next at all? Because the universe is not moving through time the way the ego imagines it. It is not marching forward from birth to death, from moment to moment, from lifetime to lifetime. All of that, past, present, future, exists only inside your human perspective, a convenience of memory, a useful illusion. In reality, the universe is not a line, it is a field, a shimmering fabric of infinite moments happening all at once. Awareness does not travel into a new form, like a soul jumping into a different body. Rather, every creature that has ever lived, and every creature that will ever live, is the universe awakening from a different angle. It is not you who reincarnates, it is eyeing that continues. This vast, eternal process of awarenessing, the universe looking through eyes, listening through ears, feeling through skin, happens everywhere, constantly. Everywhere the universe grows eyes, there you are. Everywhere the universe becomes conscious, there you awaken. You have already been every being that has ever lived, and you will be every being that ever will. Not in a sequential sense, not in this life, then that life, but because the deeper self behind all eyes is the same one self. And when you truly see this, your fear of death begins to evaporate like mist dissolving in the morning sun. Because the great secret is that you cannot truly die. Not the real you, not the one behind the mask. Your present form can and will dissolve. The organism will return to the earth. The memories will fade. the personality will vanish like a dream on waking. But that which is aware of the personality, the pure seeing, the pure experiencing, is not something that started when your body appeared. It is the same consciousness that has illuminated every creature, every civilization, every moment of awareness that has ever existed. And if that is true, then dying is not the end of awareness. It is only the end of a particular perspective. Think of it this way. When a wave breaks on the shore, does the ocean die, or does it simply change shape? Your life is a wave. Your awareness is the ocean. The form may crash, but the water remains. Once you understand this, you begin to see the entire drama of human identity differently. You stop clinging so desperately to the story of me. You stop gripping your memories as if they were your essence. You stop fearing change because change is simply the universe playing another note. Instead of asking, what will happen to me when I die, you begin asking, what is the universe doing through me right now? And the answer is always the same. It is seeing. It is feeling. It is experiencing itself through this particular lens in this fleeting moment. And when this lens dissolves, as all lenses eventually do, the seeing does not cease. It simply appears elsewhere as another child being born, another animal breathing, another creature opening its eyes. So when you ask, which one will I be? The only honest answer is, all of them and none of them. Because the one who asks the question is the universe itself. And the universe does not begin or end, it simply unfolds, endlessly opening its eyes again and again through every living thing.